Hey guys, Justin here coming at you from the 4x4 test tent with another big unboxing video. This one is from Spider Farmer. You guys have seen me review all their lights so far. This is their newest offering. They've entered the bar light circus that's going on. Just everybody's producing bar lights. So now Spider Farmer has jumped into the fray with the SE7000 commercial LED. It's 330 pieces of LM301 and Osram diodes. And then it has a new driver, so we're gonna check that out too. But as you can see, it's a monstrous box. So let's just get into it. Alright, so this is the Spider Farmer SE7000, and as you can see, it is wall-to-wall coverage for a 4x4, and will likely do a 5x5 quite well. It does have a detachable driver. You can attach it to the unit as well, but I will be running it outside of the tent. I feel like that is the best way to run it, and so that's the way I'm going to do it. And as far as accessories that it comes with, these are the end caps here to cover up the screws here. There is some assembly. As you saw, it was a much smaller box, so there are some parts, but there is no tools required whatsoever. I didn't need a screwdriver even, just absolutely nothing. It was really easy. The bars plug in to the main bar on each end. You just lay it on the ground, plug the bars in, and then you clasp the metal piece over, and then you lock them together with the screws. And this is it. This is what you get. It was really easy, toolless, and it seems to be pretty sturdy. I definitely flipped this thing around a few times, trying to get it together, because I wanted to get the screws in on each side. And it worked out pretty well. And the driver, like I was saying before, it does have a different driver than what I've seen before and what Spider Farmer has used. It is a Moso driver, which I personally have never seen before, but that doesn't really mean a lot. I'm not a big driver expert, so that's definitely something new. But the diodes are LM301. They're back to the Samsung diodes after having the 7000 having different diodes. Now they're back to Samsung's here, and then Osram for the reds. So it's a pretty decent light. They do seem to have a little bit interesting spread. Also, take a look here on the bars themselves. They actually have a little bit of a pattern to them. So you go all the way up, and you've got all these different spreads of diodes. So here it's spaced out, and then you got a block together, another block, and then it's spaced out, and then at the sides it's really tight. At all the side ones, it is super tight. Those diodes are close. So they're trying to kind of do what one of the last LEDs that I reviewed did, where it kind of tried to space out the diodes a little bit. It's not quite the same thing. They were going for more corner coverage, spacing everything out to the corners, pulling everything out to the corners. This is going more towards pulling it just straight to the sides, and they still have a pretty good block here in the middle as well. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of coverage this gets. we'll hang it up and check it out. We'll definitely throw the par meter and everything underneath it. And hell yeah, we are just about ready to go. We'll take a quick look at the manual here, but you also get the daisy chain, of course, here. And then you have some little screws to help anchor down the driver if you wanted to mount it to the light. Let's take a look at the manual here. They've got a listing of all of their different lights here. If you want to take a look at that, go ahead and pause. And then they've got their spectrum, which looks like it has some pretty big peaks. Definitely. We'll have to test that, and we'll see if that matches up. And then here's the assembly, like I was showing you before. The assembly here, it comes in pieces, but there are no tools required whatsoever. Everything slots right in and slots together, and then you just screw thumb screws into the end and then throw the end caps on. And then there's how you put the driver on top. A little bit more about the dimmer and whatnot right over there. I think that's going to be pretty close to about it. More on how to hook it up. Suggested hanging height here. This is their suggested options. And then how to connect the daisy chain right here. And then I think it goes to a different language. Yep. Then it goes to a different language after that. And warranty is always going to be the Spider Farmer 3-year warranty. And of course, we have the par meter and spectrometer. We've got the heat gun. We've got the watt meter and the meter. So we are good to go. Let's get this thing hooked up and see what she pushes. Alright guys, we are back and it is all hooked up and running. Looking really, really nice. Has the Spider Farmer logo down the side here. On both sides, so it doesn't matter which way you hang it. We got the power cord. It wasn't quite long enough to go all the way to the top for how low I have it here, and then all the way back down to here, so I just kind of have it draped over the side there, just making sure it's not blocking any light. And I did attach the corners. There's the white corners. So those look pretty good on there. Help kind of protect the poles and then also keep from having metal to metal contact between the frame and the pole, which I imagine could create some vibration if you have some fans attached to the pole or something. So that's pretty good. It was, like I said, pretty easy to assemble. It looks pretty good. You'll notice the spacing on the bars is not even. Not only have they spaced out the diodes a little bit differently, but they've spaced out the bars a little bit differently as well. They got 2 bars really close to this edge and 2 bars really close to this edge, and then you got the 2 in the middle kind of spaced out much further, probably double the distance. So this will be interesting to see what kind of coverage we get on this, and if it eliminates kind of like more of the dead spot over on this side and eliminates the hot spot over here. So that's what they're trying to accomplish. So we'll take a look and see if that's what they actually did accomplish. Now, as far as the hanging kit goes, not a big fan of the hanging kit. I went ahead and just did 4 rope ratchets and called it a day. The hanging kit is a little bit light in my opinion for the size of the light. I think I got this exact same hanging kit for a light about half its size, for like a 2x4 light, if I remember right. Exact same hanging kit that I've had before. And it's just, it's not super heavy, but it's heavy enough that I just don't trust this hanging kit, because really all it comes down to is this clamp right here. If that gives way, your light is on the plants or on the ground. So I just don't trust that. They also give you 2 rope ratchets to use with the hanging kit. They are plastic geared rope ratchets, so there again, I wish they had metal gear, but I guess it is what it is. The light seems to be really nice, so I guess we can skip the accessories. We'll give them a pass on that, I guess, because the light does look really nice, and it was really easy to put together. I like their driver and dimmer setup here. Very similar to what Mars Hydro did on some of their newer stuff. Just look at the driver again. Alright, so let's go ahead and take some readings here. Let me go ahead and hook up the par meter. Or excuse me, the watt meter. I got the par meter right here. Hook up the watt meter camera and we'll be good to go. Alright, watt meter is up and running. We are good to go. So let's take a look and see what we're at the very minimum. You see right here, the very minimum setting. 103. Let's grab a corner real quick. 84, not high enough. So let's bring it up a couple notches here. Let's try like 15%. $135, still a little bit low, I would say. So we can go up another little bit here. Let's take it up to 20. About 20% there. Oh, and there again, let's pull out meter. Show you guys the distance. I always do 24 inches off the canopy, starting with all these lights here, which my meter is 5.5 inches tall, so that puts us 29.5 inches off of the canopy, or off of the floor. 29.5 inches off the floor, which is 24 inches off the canopy minus the 5.5 there. So that's why I've got it set up like that. So it's running pretty high, 24 inches. 166. That's definitely, you could do seedlings and clones in this area, 166 to 135. Actually, there's hardly any drop off to the sides. That's really good. Let's check that side. Oh yeah, 126. This is going to be really good, I think. This is going to be really good. So about 20% is going to be for seedlings, clones, and just little baby plants, basically. Just little baby plants. So let's kick it up to, let's go up to 40%. Let's see if we hit veg at 40%. $266, so not quite to veg on that. Corner, $219. That is really good. That is really good spread. All right, let's go higher. Let's go, I don't know, 60%, I guess. Let's try 60. That brightened up really quick there. 417. So that's actually a little bit high for veg, but considering it's the middle reading, it's acceptable. Because then we go out to the side, or out to the corner, and we're at 355, which is perfect. So 350 to 400 is exactly where I like to be for veg. 318, little tiny bit low on that side. Let's check this side too. 371. So not bad. Not bad. This one might have gotten just some of the bad reflection off of this vent here. But not bad at all. Let's go up close. 293. I'll take it. So pretty much 60% is going to be your veg. 60%. Now let's go for flour. Let's just see where 80% puts us first. Middle reading, 80%, and we're barely into flour territory at 608. Go to the corner, 522. So you could flour that if you really wanted to, or if you wanted to drop it down a few inches, it would definitely raise the par. So there's a lot of options with this kind of light. It has enough power that if you need the heat for the winter time, you'll be able to run it higher at 24 inches, crank it up to 100%, and you'll still be able to flour, and you'll generate plenty of heat to heat your grow in the winter time. But then when summer comes, you can drop it down 12 inches to 12 inches off the canopy, and then drop your power down, and which also drops your heat down. That's what I'm doing right now. It's getting really hot here. It's supposed to be 106 tomorrow, and I'm turning all my lights down, and I'm dropping them down to even as low as 6 inches. It's something that you can really do with these bar style lights because they are such a nice spread, such a nice spread. So I really dig it, and I dig the readings that are coming off of here so far. 602 in the middle. So that's 80%. Let's blast this thing 100% max, ultra max. Damn, this is bright. And boom, 859. That is definitely really good flower territory. 859. Fat cola territory. 710. What a great number. 710 in the corner. 859. Only 150 drop off from the middle to the corner. That is excellent. That is absolutely excellent. Oh my God. Another crazy number. 666. On the side. Mark of the beast. Over here on the side. Holy crap. Let's check the other side. 746. That's in a little bit. I didn't quite get all the way over here. Meter's kind of in the way. Plus it's a weird angle. That's still a really good reading, but I can get a worse reading. There we go, 690. I don't want to cheat. You know, I don't want to be accused of cheating here. Let's take the, whoops, I was in the way of that one. Let me back up a little bit. Take the up close reading. 592, that's with no reflection at all. That's with the door open. Now let's go all the way back here. Let's crawl all the way to the back. Let's see what we're getting. There we are, 600 in the back. So no matter where you go in this tent, you're in flower territory. 600 on the low, 900 on the high, at 24 inches. At 24 inches. So you've got plenty of headroom to drop this sucker down. And if you want to really push it and run it at 100% at 18 inches, your par is going to be through the roof. Through the roof. Like, this light will allow you to push your grow as hard as you have the capability to push it. If you're a new grower, I would suggest running it at 24 inches. And the maximum, 100%, you would be okay running it at 100% at 24 inches. But if you're a new grower and you want to drop it down to 12 inches and 100%, you are probably going to have a rough time. You got to be a little bit more experienced for that. But this thing is an absolute certified beast. I think they really did a pretty good job of spacing out the diodes on the bar and then also spacing out the bar to get much better coverage. Like, the center reading to the corner and the sides is not that big of a swing compared to a lot of the other lights that I've tested. So hey, that's really the goal of these bar style lights, is to get ultimate just coverage of the same par across the canopy, a good even canopy. And I think this light accomplishes it. Does a great job. Does a great job. So yeah, let's go ahead and let it warm up, and we'll take some heat readings, and we'll see what we come up with from the heat readings. But so far, this thing is knocking it out of the park on pretty much every category. And like I said, if you guys want to get crazy with it and knock this thing down 6 inches or even 12 inches, you're going to have par through the roof. Through the roof. I mean, it's flowering at a minimum flower at 24 inches. It'll do your absolute minimum for good flower. I mean, for good flower too, not popcorn. We're not talking like 400 par, 500 par. We're talking 600 to 900 par, which is right in the wheelhouse for really good bud for most growers. For most growers, there's some people that can really push the plant, and they've got tons of nutrients that they can lay down. They've got a good even nutrient spread, and their pH is on point. Then they can push this thing to 11, 12, 1400 par. But until then, until you get your nutrients figured out, I would recommend 24 inches on this sucker. But yeah, let's go ahead and let this warm up, and we'll see what kind of heat readings it gives off, and we'll wrap it up. Alright, so I've given this plenty of time to warm up here. So let's go ahead and whip out the heat gun here, and we'll take a look. I imagine the tips are going to be pretty hot because that's where the diodes are concentrated. Remember, they really concentrated them at the end of the bars here. Yeah, we're looking at 129, almost 130 at the end. Where it's not concentrated, there you're looking at like 119, 124. So you can definitely tell that the ends are hotter because of those diodes being bunched up together. And then there's also another little hot spot in the middle here. It's hard to see where it's picking it up here. Everything's so bright. There's another little hotter spot in the middle. Oh, shutting down. I didn't pull the trigger or anything on it. So we'll give that a second to fire back up here. But so far, everything on this has been really good. There we go. Fire up, little buddy. So everything's been really good on this so far. Thermals are decent. I mean, it is a little bit warm to the touch, especially on these ends where you're looking at almost 130 degrees. That's definitely going to be pretty hot. But I mean, we are talking 600 watts here. I mean, 630 watts total. So that's it's quite a bit of watts we're pushing. There we go. Now you can kind of see the hot spot in the middle there. And then at the end, it's going to be hot again. Because there again, it's bunched up at the end. But the driver is not really running very hot. The driver's not too bad. 118 to 112. Not too bad at all on the driver. The driver's not working, or doesn't seem to be working that hard. So yeah, pretty sweet, man. Pretty sweet. This light is definitely impressive. I'm glad to see Spider Farmer getting into the bar style lights. They've been doing the boards for so long, and I really felt like they need to get into the bar style, and they finally did. And they did a really good job of it. A really good job. I really think they knocked it out of the park on the the spread, really good spread. One of the best spreads that I've tested, really, as far as par to the center, to the sides, to the corners being fairly even. So that's pretty cool. The only issue is, because there's a gap here in the middle, this side and this side are going to be a little weak compared to this side and this side. So that's really the only chink in the armor that I see as far as their setup goes. And then as far as the diode placement goes, they do have them bunched up quite close here. Like, you can definitely see bunched up quite close. We've got a mix of 3000 and 5000K, of course, and then the 660s. But I just kind of worry that these are so close that they might overheat. But I don't know, we'll see. We'll see how it works out. The coverage is amazing. So if the thermals hold, which they're not too bad, 129 is really not bad. I've seen worse. I've seen all the way up to almost 140. So really 130 is not bad. So I don't think that's going to be a big problem, but I mean, I'm not a fortune teller. Not a fortune teller. All I know is the par is excellent on this. The coverage is excellent on this. You can drop it down if you're a pro grower. You can raise it up if you're a noob grower. This thing is all around 4x4 banging, bud packing mofo. 100%. So yeah, check out the links below if you guys want to get one of these for yourself, or if you want more info. Discount code below as usual. They have all kinds of different lights. They've got tent kits. I use their tents. It's actually being tested in a Spider Farmer tent. Got another Spider Farmer tent over there. So yeah, check it out, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. And until next time, happy growing.